Hi guys, it is Amy from Anvasaki Yoga and Aerial, and I'm coming to you today with not one, not two, not three, but 11 different ways that you can train your grip strength at home to try and improve your grip for when you return to aerial, if you're furloughed, if you're stuck at home at the moment, if you're injured, if you're ill, or just between classes if you're struggling a little bit with grip strength. So, an amazing assortment of things around me. I've tried to do as much of this as I can based on what you might have in your house and give you some options if you don't have those things. However, there are proper versions of most of these things, and I'll put some links in the comments for where you can get some of those items. Okay, first one. This has been used by martial artists for a long time and it's sort of been adapted into the aerial scene. Rice bucket. So you need a bucket. This is my biggest kitchen pan. But equally, if you have a proper bucket, even better. The bigger you can get this, the better. Ideally, get something that's got a lid on it, because then you can keep using this for sort of weeks or months at a time. Whereas if it's something open like this, it's going to start to mold. Any kind of rice, okay? This isn't a cooking recipe for how to improve your grip strength. So, you know, brown rice, basmati, jasmine, probably avoid anything sticky, but we're not going to cook it. Fill your bucket to the top. And what you're going to want to do, about 5 minutes every day if you can, you're going to put your hand in the bucket and basically you're going to move it around. So you can try taking that left and right with fingers open. You can try closing the hand, using it as a paddle with resistance. It doesn't sound like much, but trust me, when you've got your hand with this much resistance, this much rice around it, think of when you go to the sea and you plunge your hand right down the bottom. Pressure makes it a lot harder. So you can try swirling your hand as well. You can try squeezing the rice. I wouldn't advise, martial artists will do this one, I wouldn't advise punching it because we don't have any need for that kind of movement. But just have your hand in there, see what you can do, see how you can move it. Have a play. If you'd like sensory things as well, I find this one quite nice. So that's my first one, the rice bucket. Okay, second one. A lot of you who come to my classes will have heard me recommend this one before, a hair bubble. If you're a guy watching this, an elastic band. Obviously you can use elastic band as a girl as well, but you know, I don't ever have an elastic band, I do have a hair bubble. This one was too big, it's a standard size one, so I just put a knot in it to make my bubble smaller. Put it around your fingers, and open and close. If that's not giving much resistance, make the knot further up, get a thicker elastic band. But you can just sit on your sofa while you're watching telly, doing this for however long you can, and it's going to help this open and close movement. As always, make sure you do it on both sides. Okay, next one, farmer's walks. So if you go to the gym, especially if you do sort of CrossFit type activities, you might be very familiar with this. So what you need to do, get some kind of weight. And the important thing here is your grip. Hopefully you can see my grip, just like you might carry your shopping bag. So I've got kettlebells here. This one's very light, but you could use a carry bag or a usable bag or something, just full of apples or something that's going to give you some weight. What I've also got here are bottles, because I can use those as well. Ideally, you're going to have two, one for each side. I'm going to have to demonstrate with different sizes because I don't have two the same size. Both holding that same grip, so thumbs to the centre, fingers curled under. Standing. If I stand, I'm going to end up outside the frame of this shot, so I'm sure you can understand the concept of standing and walking. And it doesn't matter if you walk around your garden, doesn't matter if you walk up and down your hallway, but walking for 3 to 5 minutes holding the same weight in each hand, just dead hanging it, okay? The aim is that each day you're going to increase either the weight or you're going to increase the time. So you might start with 3 minutes, 2 kilos each side, or 3 minutes, a 1 litre bottle of water each side. Tomorrow, you're going to do 4 minutes, still with your smallest one. The next day, 5. Okay, we're going to pull it back a bit. We're going to go up to sort of, from our 1 litre bottle of water, we're going to go to 1.5, or we're going to go up to the 3 kilo weight, and we're going to drop the time back down again. Okay, so you gradually build it up. There's my 4 kilo one. That would be a stretch for me to walk for 5 minutes with that at the moment, just hanging down on both sides. Let's build it up. get your daily exercise. We're allowed out for an hour a day, although whether you want to walk up and down the street just carrying bottles of water, your personal choice. You can walk around the garden, walk around the house. Really, really good one, that one. Farmers walks. Okay, next one, weight pinching. So, ideally you're going to do this with flat plate weights. I definitely don't have any of those at home. So again, you can do it with something like this, but I'm changing the grip. Instead of using my whole hand, I'm using these first two fingers. You can use the other fingers for support, but it's that lift now. Okay? The reason why I've got the pack of paper, most people have some printer paper at home. You can do that same grip. Okay, so you can see there's this gap here now. I'm not holding on to it with the whole hand. It is just a pinch. Pick something up, pinch it, lift and low. Again, set yourself a target, maybe 2 to 3 minutes each side. Gradually build it up, either the weight or the amount of time you do it for. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking at my list going, where am I now? Number 5. So, this is the one you probably don't have at home. I got this from one of my children for about £8. It's a Diablo. So you've got 2 sticks with a bit of string in the middle. Again, if I stand up to try and do this, firstly you'll laugh because I can't. But you've got holding a Diablo, and literally, really can't. You're going to use your wrists, and you can already see how my wrists move to do that. And then as you get a bit more practice, you can learn to throw it and catch it. But it is great for that grip strength as well as being your control. Other use for this. So, number 6. If any of you have ever been to a pound class, this is basically what we're going to do. These are very light sticks. If you have those heavier sticks, or if any of you have got children who do tumble tops, they're called nummy sticks. Basically a weighted stick. Kind of like drum work. You don't have to actually hit the floor. Holding on, nice tight grip, up and down. Okay, so you're going to try and do that again, 3 to 5 minutes without stopping, drumming up and down. When you're doing it forwards, reverse it, take them backwards, and again, up and down. Okay, I find that one a lot harder to do. It's not so much the wrists, it's just the coordination. But that's your 6th one, using your sticks for that. So as I say, you can use a broom handle even, pull from the washing line, anything you can find around the house that you can get a comfortable small grip in there and just basically bang it up and down. Okay, number 7. So, a lot of you'll have or you'll have seen gyro balls. This is sort of the way you can make one at home. So, simplest way, I want a plastic cup from a festival from a few years ago and a marble in the cup. Off you go. There's not much weight in that, that's the downside to this homemade version. I did also have a golf ball here. My cats have got that. Or this one's got a little bit more weight. This is very geeky Dungeons and Dragons dice for husbands. So again, give it that little twirl around. You can also do it in true Blue Peter style. Here's one I made earlier. You can really tell that I've got small children here. This is a Lol Dolls ball, but you get sort of similar balls with gifting and things at Christmas. Just when you might have this kind of sealable ball, put the marble in, and off you go. I will link in the comments for a proper gyro ball because they're weighted, and if you buy one thing to help with your home conditioning, I'd say that's probably going to be the best one from what we're doing today. Diablo will be a lot of fun, but this gyro ball will really help that wrist movement and that wrist strength. Okay, next one, 8. Sorry, you can tell I forgot my numbers after a while on the list, and that's where I'm looking at this going, how many have I done? So this one you don't need anything for. 4 points of the compass wrist. If you come to me for yoga, you know I love this movement. First time you do this, it feels horrendous, I'm not going to lie. I pretend in a yoga class, this isn't a yoga class. I would pretend it's not as bad as it is. So coming to all fours, hands forward. If, like me, you're hypermobile, if your elbows face forward, make sure all of this is done with a little bit of bend in your elbow. Okay, otherwise you're going to do yourself a bit of an injury. So just starting to take the weight forward over the hands and pressing that back to release. So it's just a nice slow draw forward and back to release. I'm not going to go through this for as long as I would normally do this for. I would suggest doing this for at least a minute in each direction every day. Hands come out to the sides. Okay, so my hands are still roughly underneath my shoulders. I haven't taken them sort of really wide or really close together. If you're unsure of how wide your shoulders are, could you turn your hands that way without them ending up on top of each other? So roughly as wide as your shoulders, taking the weight forward and drawing back. Keeping your palms to the ground all the time through this. Next point of the compass, turning the hands in towards each other. So again, this is one where I find people tend to end up really wide. Under the shoulders, fingers towards each other, taking that forward and drawing back. Palms still on the earth, drawing forward and back. Final one, the one everybody loves, reversing the wrists. So depending on your genetics, will depend on whether you want to go around the outside to turn these or through the centre. So some of you might find that your wrists don't go quite as far on one side as the other. So you can see my wrist here. I had quite a lot of injury on this one, car accident 20 years ago. It doesn't come around as far. When I started doing this, I don't know, 7-8 years ago, they came about there. Okay? So just turn them as far towards you as feels okay. Start to draw the weight forward and back. Forward and back. Come out, turn the hands forward, release, give them a circle, a press, whatever you need. You'll know that last one I was going a lot less distance than I was travelling with the other movements. Listen very carefully to your body, okay? Don't do yourself some horrendous injury trying to get your chest to the floor with your hands inverted. Unless you're severely hypermobile or you've been doing this a long, long time, it's not going to happen. Pay attention to where your limits are. Okay, 9. Fun one. Any of your scrap paper you have lying around? Anyone who's homeschooling may recognise a Twinkle worksheet. This is one of the answer ones. So, one-handed paper crumpling. I cannot do this one. You're supposed to start with it open on your hand and scrunch from there, but all that happens for me is it flies off. So I've got to find myself an edge and crumple that into as small a ball as you can without using the floor or your legs, anything else to push off. Just using your one hand to scrunch your paper. Then if you're having a really bad day, you can throw it at your husband, at the kids, let the dog chase it. But you've made yourself a snowball fight. Then do one with the other hand. Good thing to do this with when you get junk mail through the door. So something like, you know, those catalogue type things you get for the frozen food shops. I don't know if you get as many of them as I do. You just sit and scrunch it up before you put it in the bin. Okay, so it gets it in. I'm not going to suggest anyone goes out and gets their pack of brand new printer paper and starts scrunching, but every time you get some mail you don't need anymore, scrunch it one-handed. Okay, make it as small as you can. 10. Yeah, 10. So, probably most obvious one, a stress ball. So this one's an actual stress ball. Scrunch it, release it. If you don't have a proper stress ball, not really a problem. If you've got a balloon, leftover balloon, fill it with sand, fill it with rice, you've made a stress ball. You can buy stress balls on somewhere like Amazon for about £1. Equally, I've got a soft foam ball. It's going to do just about the same job. It's literally that action of being able to scrunch and release. That's a little rounders type ball as well. Or actually a tennis ball. If you've got pretty good grip, a tennis ball is even better than a stress ball because it's that much harder to squash. So see what you've got lying around, see what you can work with. The final one is the one that I cannot demonstrate. Find something to hang off. Okay? You know how I say to you all the time, do not hang your hammock off your kid's swing set. It will break. It's not made to support you. It probably can support you literally dead hanging. And the reason for that is you are not moving. It is a static load. Most of you watching this are going to be somewhere 60, 70 kilos. Most kids' swing sets are designed to take about 120. Do not hang your aerial set off it. However, if you've got your kids' swing set, if you've got a pull-up bar at home, and I am going to be doing a video showing you some ways you can use a pull-up bar to do aerial conditioning at home. So again, that's one that you might want to invest in if you think that this sort of could be, you know, a month or two. It's maybe worth spending £20 to have that equipment at home. So yeah, pull-up bar, kids swing set, if you've got any beams at home, anything that you can literally use that grip to hold on to and hang. Don't try and put in any complicated work, any leg lifts. Please don't try and, you know, invert and straddle. Just literally hang. If you're happy with this grip, invert the grip, see if you can hang that way as well. I tend to do this, my children have got it's not a swing set, it's sort of a climbing frame, but they've got a trapeze on it. Now it's very low down, it comes to about there on me. But if I just sort of squat under it, I can then hang with my legs out in front of me. So it's getting me that same benefit, but with my legs out, it's actually increasing sort of the force that I'm feeling on it. So that's 11 different ways. So to recap, that is the rice bucket, the hair bobble, the farmer's walk, weight pinching, gyro ball, Diablo, the drumming with the sticks, 4 points of the compass wrists, one-handed paper crumpling, stress ball, and dead hang. Okay, 11 ways you can improve your wrist strength and your grip from home while we're on shutdown. I hope you found that useful. If there's anything else you're considering about how to do your practice from home, drop it in the comments. As I say, I will put in the comments some of the proper kit. But as you can see, all these are things I've just rounded up from my house in the last half hour to make a way to condition from home. Okay? Hope you're all well, hope you're all healthy, and I will check in again with you very soon. Namaste.